Welcome to the Industrial Talk Podcast with Scott McKenzie. Scott is a passionate industry professional dedicated to transferring cutting-edge, industry-focused innovations and trends while highlighting the men and women who keep the world moving. So put on your hard hat, grab your work boots, and let's go.
Hey there, welcome to the Industrial Talk Podcast, the number one industrial-related podcast in the universe. And you know what? It's dedicated to you. 100% of this platform is dedicated to you, the industrial professionals, the companies that get it done. You're bold, you're brave, you dare greatly, you innovate. Boy, do you innovate. And you're changing the world, and you are changing lives. That's why we celebrate you. That's why this podcast is here. It's all about you and celebrating your accomplishments. Okay, we're going down the road of heroes of manufacturing. You know why? Because we need to celebrate them too as well. Because they are doing incredible work. They're the unsung heroes. They're just sort of standing there. They just make things happen, and you just take it for granted. I take it for granted. Let's get going with this interview. Heroes of manufacturing, and you're asking yourself, hey, Scott, how do I get involved? Easy peasy. You go out to heroesofmanufacturing.com. Again, I mean, it's just that easy. And you have many options on how to get involved. You can just sort of say, hey, I want to follow the content. Boom, follow the content. You can say, hey, how can I contribute? Boom, there's a contribution there. How can I be a collaborator and be a part of this ever-expanding group of incredible companies and people that are just passionate about manufacturing? You're saying, I want to be involved. Boom, it's there. You know who you're going to talk to? That's right, moi. You're going to be talking to me. But I'm just telling you right now, you need to get involved. You need to be a part of this incredible movement and really just celebrate the wonderful women and men in manufacturing that have just made this sort of challenging little situation called COVID or, COVID-19 or Corona or pandemic a little bit more bearable to deal with because they were able to shift their manufacturing process and what they do to be able to address and respond to the changes in the market. Yeah, that's what they did on a dime. I am so amazed. No matter what the size of the company is, they were able to pivot, boom, move around, satisfy the market. They are special people, and we need to celebrate them. Now, that dovetails nicely with our interview that's coming up. His name is Asad Khan. He is the president of Kent Display Inc., and they were manufacturing PPEs, the shields for the doctors and everybody that needed shields. They adjusted their manufacturing process to be able to create those plastic shields on a dime. How special is that? They leveraged their supply chain. They leveraged their ability to be able to source this product and get it in and modify their line and be able to produce it. Johnny on the spot, lickety-split. I don't know what any other type of words to put to that, but it's impressive. No doubt about it. It is absolutely impressive. So here is Asad Khan. That's AsadKAKHAN. Make a note of that because I can't spell. Kent Display Inc. is the company. So enjoy this interview. Here is Asad. Asad, welcome to the Industrial Talk Podcast. I'm really excited to be able to have this conversation, and I know you're a busy gent. Thank you very much for joining. And how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Scott. Pleasure to meet you.
Hey, I'm telling you right now, the pleasure is all mine. And so you listeners out there, we've had a number of conversations, and he is the Chief Executive Officer of Kent Display. Did I get that right?
Yes.
And they're the makers of boogie board, but not the boogie board that goes in the water, but it's a boogie board that we ride on. So give us a little background, a little information on who Asad is all about, as well as Kent Display, and we'll just venture on into the interview.
So our organization, Kent Displays, is about 25 years in the making, started in the early to mid-90s as a spinoff from Kent State University, developing a lot of technologies around reflective displays. And moving then to around fast forward to the late 2000s when we stumbled upon this writing material and developed manufacturing capability to start to produce these flexible liquid crystal display panels, and then created our own brand of consumer products that are sold under the name Boogie Board. So these are writing devices that you can write on with a stylus, with the back of a pen or something like that, and then just simply press a button to erase it. They're used in a variety of different places, from home office, on your refrigerator, coaches, kids learning, all the way to higher end uses, to even boards in offices and conference rooms. I am very fortunate that I started with the organization from almost the start back in 1995, and have been with the organization and done a variety of different roles, from being in the trenches to working in the lab to doing a lot of work in supply chain and partnerships and things like that. So I've been fortunate to be through a lot. The organization has evolved and transformed a lot from technology development to now one of the world's premier flexible liquid crystal display manufacturers.
Let me, so that I understand the application of this particular solution, this device, I would imagine it has a level of durability that is necessary, because, we're human beings, right? And so
Absolutely.
I grab my whatever, my spiral binder here, and I take my notes, and I'm not the most gentle individual known to man, but for me personally, I would love to be able to have a device that could replace this. That is not anything that's tender and gentle, but it's like me. Okay, I got to grab it and write it down. Is that sort of, in general, you create a lot of durability within your in your product?
Absolutely. No, you've hit the nail on the head. So the liquid crystal display, unlike those in your phone and laptop and tablets,
Sure.
are typically made out of glass and are fragile. Our display panels are purely made out of flexible plastic sheets and very thin. I'm holding up one of our products, and if I bend it from the side, you can see it's very robust, and so this durability and robustness is the key to why the product is successful in a variety of different applications, including kids and K through 5 and later on. And the power consumption is extremely low. So there's just a tiny coin cell that lasts for years.
See, that's fantastic. So I don't have to, and I think the price point is pretty attractive as well. So for me, industrial guy, I can use your technology, your product in an industrial environment and not worry about, like a computer, where you got to really be very careful. I like that a lot. Now, the elephant in the room is this whole pandemic. How do you, one day we were fine, the next day it was shut down. The world was shut down. How did Kent Display deal and adapt to the realities of the market beforehand and then today? How did you guys adapt?
So continually doing it even today, but our DNA and our really history has been filled with adaptation, from different technologies to going from a technology development to a component supplier to fabless to a manufacturing organization. So it's in our very core to be able to change and adapt as stuff around us changes. We, of course, are keeping health and safety of our team members at the front and foremost. And so from the middle of March, even before the state of Ohio was giving stay-at-home orders, we had quickly shifted to working from home, and a lot of people were able to. So we reduced the number of people in our buildings, and then continue to service our customers. We're, of course, doing two things: manufacturing the liquid crystal display panels for our own consumption and also for other customers. But then we're also designing and engineering consumer finished goods and that those also have to be provided to our customers. So we worked from home. We were able to adapt. We were able to do our manufacturing, which does not have a lot of people in the building at the same time, in clean room suits. Quickly went to very, very clear protocols of building entry and exit, and then we of course did lots of adaptations in our manufacturing, and were even able to help with manufacturing some PPE for local and national use.
Give us an example of that. See, what always fascinates me is how quickly a manufacturer, and this has been consistent throughout the Heroes of Manufacturing conversation, is how quickly a organization can adapt to the needs of the community, and the market, to adjust their manufacturing process, and which is sort of counterproductive, because you always try to pursue efficiencies within your manufacturing process, but here you got to adjust. So what did you do in that particular case where you're developing PPEs?
Our organization is incredible. When there is a market need, when there is a pull, we pull together and are able to transform and do things very differently. We have two things that were very, very synergistic with face shields that the healthcare industry and other first responders were needing all the way back in March, and there was clear shortage. The two things we have intimate knowledge of global supply chain and flexible materials, particularly the plastics. So between us and our suppliers and second degree suppliers, there was a lot of material already in that supply chain. The second expertise we have is roll-to-roll manufacturing expertise. Once you get into that mode, then you're able to transform. But it takes a willpower. It takes an initiative. It takes a willingness to do it, to really put all these pieces together and say, from making complex liquid crystal display devices to let's make face shield lenses for first responders. But we were able to put all these things together in a matter of days. And we just a couple of weeks ago, we shipped about 500,000 of these things to our customers.
See, that's spectacular. That's exactly we, the public, we don't see that. We don't experience that. We don't see the conversation that you and your team have about how to adjust manufacturing to be able to accommodate a need, a demand, and do it in a rapid and professional and quality level of delivering. It always fascinates me, and it always gets down to you had the supply chain, there was stuff available, and but it always gets down to people. Manufacturing is people. Yes, it's a machine too as well, but it's that person that's running the machine or programming the machine, but it's the person. And that's what is so fantastic. Kudos to your company and the people there for doing that, because
it's really been an amazing uplifting thing as well, to use our existing leverage and our supply chain. Our suppliers are happy, customers are happy, and you know what, when in this pandemic there is no right answer, everyone is struggling, everyone is scared as well, and so we're all pooling together our intellect and our ability to service what's needed in the marketplace. And honestly, we weren't even doing this because it's a huge revenue stream for us. We were doing it because it was the right thing to do.
So that's the story. That is something, and you're one of many manufacturing companies that did the same thing, that responded to the need, and that is fantastic. 500,000 of the face shields, did you say?
Yes, we were able
That's
to
amazing.
do that within a couple of weeks of getting things organized, getting some tooling, developing a process which we had never made one of these things before, and really, really transform. And of course, kudos to our customers as well, who came to us, and we continue even today to service those needs. So we're ready. Meanwhile, keeping grounded in the fact that our primary and core mission in business is to manufacture flexible liquid crystal panels for writing applications for boogie boards. And so we continue to do that 24 hours a day as well.
I love it. Now, we're going to venture into the human side of this. In that whole ability to be able to respond to the market need there, Kahan, who do you want to thank? Who is that manufacturer? It could be a company, it could be people, it could be whatever it is. Who is that hero of manufacturing that you want to just make sure that you're sort of like, they stepped up, they did this was great, then, you got it.
It's I'm a big believer, Scott, that it takes many people to pull an organization together.
Yeah.
It takes you're only as strong as your weakest link. It takes many cogs to make a chain wheel, and I'm a really big believer in that. And that's the mantra in our organization. And so many people have come together during this pandemic. We have had to keep health and safety front and center, and people working towards getting us face masks and sanitizers and thermometers and distancing and protocols. So it's not any one person, but the names that come to mind, I've thought about this quite a bit. We have one individual that really stepped up and spearheaded a lot of our face shield manufacturing. He's in charge of our process engineering, and his name is Don Davis. He's been with the organization for nearly 2 decades and is beyond an exemplary part of our organization, but also a true leader. In addition to him, we've had our core roll-to-roll manufacturing team. These guys are working at 2 a.m, 24 hours a day, and are quickly able to adapt both schedules and new things they're doing. So this entire team really has been exemplary, and so I want to thank them as well. And the last one I really want to point out is really our community, our where we live in Northeast Ohio, in Kent. Our community has been supporters, and I'll, if we have a moment, I'll get back to what we've done in the community as well. To us, that's a big part. We're not living in isolation. We are part of this greater community ecosystem.
What I found is it as much as the pain that exists with this pandemic, COVID, whatever you want to call what we are in right now, all the pain, there's also this other side of that coin where people are coming together. People are collaborating more. People are leaning on everybody because they need answers, and they're looking for help, and people are willing to provide help, and vice versa. So there's this greater community type of environment that exists. So what did you do with the community in light of all this?
Our products, the Boogie Board e-Rider is an awesome little tool. When people were suddenly forced to stay at home, then parents and children are all struggling. Screen times are going through the roof. Yeah. And during that time, we came up with an idea where we would just give away our product for free for those that want it, so that parents and children can occupy themselves with using these devices, get a little bit of a break from television, from iPads and iPhones, and just really just draw and write and be artistic and have some fun. And so that was a really important part in our early on reach back to the community to say, you have been part of our ecosystem. We're here for you. And so now it is time for us to give back.
I love it. That's exactly correct. And yeah, we were all a part of that. I binge watched some shows on streaming TV, and I'm here in front of the computer. Yeah, I can understand. That is absolutely wonderful. Now, we're going to have to wrap it up. How can people get a hold of you?
So one of the best places is go to myboogieboard.com. So much information and getting in touch with us. And we are a small organization here in Northeast Ohio. Our products are made in the USA, and we love to hear from consumers. We'd love for people to buy our products and tell us your stories and get involved. So myboogieboard.com is the best place to start.
Well, I got to tell you, Asad, and I said that right, Asad, right?
Yes.
Thank you very much. You're a hero to me, baby. And thank you very much. And thank you, listeners. We're going to wrap it up on the other side, so do not go away. Again, Asad, thank you very much to you, your team at Kent Displays, and what you've done for the community, what you've done for the people. Thank you very much for what you do.
Absolutely. Thank you, Scott.
All right. Thank you to the listeners out there. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back.
You're listening to the Industrial Talk Podcast Network.
All right. Once again, thank you very much for joining the Industrial Talk Podcast and helping us with the Heroes of Manufacturing movement. Once again, you can go out to heroesofmanufacturing.com and get involved. You want to just soak up the content? Boom, it's there. If you want to contact and see how you can get more involved, boom, it's there. And you know who you're going to talk to? Yeah, that's me. You're going to be talking to me. So it's not a big deal. I just happen to be sort of the easy path to the conversation. And we want as many people as possible right now. We are absolutely bursting at the seams with great companies and great people who want to contribute. And thank the wonderful women and men of manufacturing big doggone time. So don't hesitate. Thank you to Kent Display. Thank you, Asad Khan, for the incredible work that you have done to modify your manufacturing line and process to be able to develop the PPEs that were needed in this particular pandemic. You guys are absolute heroes of manufacturing. Again, if you can't find it at Heroes of Manufacturing, you can go out to industrialtalk.com, and I guarantee you I'm going to have a link there too as well, because we need to celebrate these heroes of manufacturing. Again, be bold, be brave, dare greatly, and thank you for what you do. Stay safe, and we'll be back with another great interview.